Howbeit, there is not in every man that knowledge. For some with conscience.
Wait, there's not in every man that knowledge. That's beautiful. That knowledge of this, what we just broke down. Keep going.
For some with conscience of the idol unto this hour eat it as a thing offered unto an idol.
Because when they eat, they believe that it's really unto that idol that they believe in. Right. Keep going.
And their conscience being weak is defiled.
Yeah. Their conscience being weak is defiled, because when you got people that don't have that understanding, because he says there are many gods.
Right.
He goes into that many gods, and then he said, look, there's one true power, and then there's one true Lord.
That's right.
You got guys that are in a different state, and brothers and sisters that are in a state of weakness because they don't have that true, it's not been, understanding has been really honed into them, that they believe that that idol, that meat is sacrificed to, or that food, that feast is truly unto that idol, which we'll get into. Okay.
Verse 8. But meat commendeth us not to the Most High, for neither if we eat are we the better, neither if we eat not are we the worse. But take heed lest any man, take heed lest by any means this liberty of yours become a stumbling block to them that are weak.
Come on,
man.
Bro.
That's clear, bro. That's clear, man.
Now, who would be weak, Ak?
It'll be that individual who is newly fresh into this truth, man.
They still love their family.
Still love their family.
They still thinking highly of their mom and parent, dad, and all that stuff. And they say, hey, son.
Right.
We got Thanksgiving. Come back to home to Mississippi.
And see, that person is not truly persuaded in his mind, man, according to this truth. And so if you see a brother who is seasoned in this truth go out and eat something offered unto an idol, and that brother not fully persuaded, what is he going to do? He going to think in his mind, hey, my brother who has been in this truth long, hey, man, he did it, so why should not? So now he's thinking it's okay.
Now he's in a weakened state. Now he's going to justify himself keeping all the other stuff.
Yeah, and then if a brother come and check him on it, what is he going to say? Well, look, so-and-so did this.
Yep. Hey, and that's why Paul's going to break down, and that's why he says your liberty.
Yeah.
Your liberty of knowing the fact that that's offered unto an idol.
Right.
And you eating that food, it could cause you to make a weaker brother to stumble.
That's right.
To justify themselves. Because see, it tells you in the scriptures that people shall not endure sound doctrine. That they shall heap for themselves teachers having itching ears. To justify them wanting to still, see, one of the hard things for people to do is to separate themselves from the world. You got friends, you got family that you cool with, and they want you to keep certain things with them.
That's right.
Okay? And they're going to tempt you every year. We got testimonies about it, bro. I myself, I have not kept a so-called holiday of America since 2003. That don't stop my parents, my siblings, my relatives from still trying to get in contact with me and make me celebrate it with them. Even when they know I don't keep that.
And you brothers know it too, man. Your family catch amnesia every year, man, about this time, man.
Yeah. So keep going on.
Verse 10. For if any man see thee, which has knowledge, sit at meat in the idol's temple, shall not the conscience of him which is weak be emboldened to eat those things which are offered to idols?
Yeah.
That's what we just went into, man.
Yeah.
And through thy knowledge shall the weak brother perish? For, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
And through thy knowledge shall the weak brother perish, for whom Mashiach died?
That's the reason why when you do these lessons, we talked about it earlier. When we go and we decide to do lessons, we are very cognizant of the levels of the people that we're talking to.
That's right.
A lot of guys are not cognizant. When you got 4,000 guys, so 3,000, 4,000 guys subscribe to your channel, not us, but an example of somebody who does.
Yeah, right.
And you got people at all different levels watching your videos, and you're telling them it's okay to eat that food. You're now putting a stumbling block before you.
That's right.
Because you did not fully break it down the right way, and then with your knowledge, which goes back into the first verse, knowledge puffeth it up. You basically, with your puffed up knowledge, are trying to push him into your understanding at your level.
And he's sinning.
Yeah.
Right?
And he's sinning at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you read further down,
Verse 12. But when ye sin so against the brethren and wound their weak conscience, ye sin against Mashiach.
Come on, bro.
Woo. Wherefore, if meat make thy brother to offend, I will eat no flesh while the world standeth, lest I make my brother to offend.
So, what does that mean? Paul says, listen, I'm not even going to eat that.
I ain't going to even eat it.
I'm not even going to eat and partake in Thanksgiving.
Because then you causing your brother to sin. Man.
He's like, he said, while the world's still here, I'm out.
Yeah. So you know what, the wise path to take is to be like, hey, they celebrating the Thanksgiving, get the hell up out of there, man. Don't partake of it at all.
And these guys have knowledge of the whole Thanksgiving.
Right.
I was gonna put up the clip or whatever. It goes into the different idols and the different foods, and the different foods are for different idols.
Yeah.
Your pumpkin pie is for this idol.
Your cranberry.
Your stuffing, and all that stuff is for different idols that y'all celebrate.
Right.
That they're celebrating. And God's got knowledge of this. I'm telling brothers, look, this, be not over righteous. Be not over righteous. You're using them scriptures in the wrong term. Be not over righteous means don't, for example, you don't just let if somebody, let's say you're somewhere and somebody's disrespecting your wife. You don't just sit there and just say, you know what, we're gonna turn the other cheek. You're gonna probably say, listen, bro, that's my wife. You don't talk to her like that.
Right.
You got, so that's talking about being not over righteous. That's just an example. You know what I'm saying? But look, we're supposed to be, no, you get what I'm saying? You got to understand balance, man. But you got guys putting the be not over righteous and saying, go and eat the Thanksgiving.
In the wrong context.
And here it is, you're condemning all these different high holy days and wicked days, but you're going to go eat that stuff with the people that you're trying to convert.
Right.
Which we're going to get into.
Yep.
So is there more in that?
Nah, that was it.
So go to 1 Corinthians 10 and verse 27.
This is 1 Corinthians 10 and 27. If any of them that believe not bid you to a feast.
Which is what's a feast? A Thanksgiving is a feast. This is known. Thanksgiving is a feast, right? Keep going.
And ye be disposed to go, whatsoever is set before you, eat, asking no question for conscience sake.
Now peep this. Let's say you did not know that it was Thanksgiving. Let's say you're a foreigner. You don't know about Thanksgiving.
Right.
You come to Babylon, you get into the truth. Right?
Yep.
You come to Babylon, but mind you, you haven't experienced Thanksgiving.
Right.
But you came from, let's say you came from Liberia or Ghana. You're a student. You're an international student. You go into U of H. You walk down here, and you come across it. We preach you the gospel. You believe you're Israel. Now Thanksgiving roll around. We haven't even talked about it, right?
Yeah.
Now this guy gets invited by one of his friends that goes to college with, that he knows is in the world.
Right.
And that guy invites him to come over and to eat Thanksgiving with him.
That's right.
With him and his conscience not knowing that it's sacrificing to an idol.
He's gonna eat. Hey.
He's okay to eat.
He's okay to eat, bro.
Because he doesn't know about it. And he never even rebuked or talked about it with his friend. He don't know about it. He went because one, that idol is nothing. Like Paul said, right? Now go to verse 28.
Verse 28. But if any man say unto you, this is offered in sacrifice unto idols, eat not for his sake that showed it, and for conscience sake, for the earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof.
Yeah, so now, if it's already knowledgeable, which like us, we're knowledgeable about the fact that this is a holiday for idols. One, it commemorates the killing of our people, primarily the North American Indians, okay?
Right.
The enslavement of the Southern Kingdom, okay?
Yep.
Because it became a holiday officially across the nation, I think in 1865 by Abraham Lincoln. And it was celebrated before that in different states to commemorate them taking over the land. The Edomites taking over the land. So they're commemorating something that is actually in the scripture. You got a precept?
No, that was
Go get me Micah chapter 2 and verse 2.
This is Micah 2 and 2. And they coveted fields, and they take them by violence, and houses, and take them away. So they oppress a man and his house, even a man and his heritage.
That's what they're celebrating.
Yep, that's right.
And they're celebrating that unto their idols. Okay, so they're doing that for that. So what's the reason for you to, now if you go back to 28, and let's read that again, 1 Corinthians 10 and 28.
But if any man say unto you, 1 Corinthians 10 and 28, but if any man say unto you, this is offered in sacrifice unto idols, eat not for his sake that showed it, or for conscience sake, for the earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof.
Yeah, so why would you go out of your way with your knowledge of knowing this? You've got family and friends. Here it is, you're trying to tell them that they need to keep the real high holy days, but then you're going to partake in theirs.
Right.
And they know it. Because what is the point of me or us, after all these years of keeping the right way, to go and partake in the table of the devil?
Right.
Your message is going to be completely destroyed and nullified. You get what I'm saying? It's
That's
going to
right.
be nullified because you decided to do it. Now, we gave another example. Now, that's an example of Thanksgiving as to why, if you have knowledge of what it is, don't partake in it.
That's right.
For your sake and for the conscience of them.
Yeah.
Because now, their own conscience is not going to make them guilty unto repentance.
Right.
You see, every time I do not keep, listen, at this time of the year, every time I do not partake in the Thanksgiving and Christmas and New Year's with my parents, every year they're convicted that they're convicted.
Yeah, they
Their
are.
conscience bears witness that I'm not down for that, and I already told them why. So every time I don't do it, it's going to make them more and more. Therefore, their own conscience sake, saying, you don't want to keep it.
Yeah, and that goes for any other holidays for that matter too, man.
Yeah.
Likewise, we're coming up on this next major pagan holiday.
Man.
It's
The
Christmas.
mega.
The mega.
Mega.
Big of them.
Yeah, so with the major one, you know, all the smaller ones got to be null and void if the big one is null and void, man. So you just got to cast that aside. So
Yeah,
you know,
Thanksgiving is the second.
Yeah,
And the
yeah.
first biggest is so-called Christmas.
right?
And we're gonna, Operatiza will do we'll do some lessons on some of these different things, which I'm preparing one. Most High willing, we'll be able to get some of that stuff out, as time goes on.
Right.
But that's what it's talking about, man. For their conscience sake. Now, put it like this. Now it goes back into first. You don't have to go back, but in 1 Corinthians 8, when you go into that time, in the city of Corinth, you had many temples of idols. Because Corinthians was the cross point from the old world going into Rome. Because they couldn't cross the seas below the sea. The Mediterranean Sea has very strong currents. So what they would do is they would actually come up and dock and come through Corinth, which is like there's an island, and the northern part of the island is Corinth, because it had calmer waters, and then they would sail through there to get to Rome. So what happened was you had a lot of temples of idols that were there at that time. So when people would come by, they would go in some of these different temples and be selling food, or they would be giving food for their different gods.
Right.
So when you come to Corinth and you want food, you might go to a place right in front of a Buddhist, let's say example, a Buddhist temple.
Right.
They might be serving food, or a Hindu temple, like here in Houston. So if someone, the reason why we got to give examples is because we want to make this thing plain for brothers and sisters.
Esau come over there and bring a truckload of church chicken, man.
Hey, man.
And they flocking like fly. I'm talking about running like how cattle do when you feeding cattle.
And then what they'll say, that's a prime example. They'll say this is for Jesus, for Jesus. That's eating unto an idol.
Esau sitting in the truck.
Right?
That's right.
Esau
That's
sitting in the truck, but he got all Issachars ishing it out.
Yep.
Hey, man.
Church is chicken now to the home. Church is chicken.
Yeah. That's why they was here waiting, bro. Get their peace. See, see who they think it's from? They think it's from Cesarea. That's the reason. This is all spiritual. The fact
right.
we're talking about this.
Yep.
Because if y'all don't know, we're not going to pan the camera on it. But in this part of these Edomites come from these different churches. And
Look,
they give.
he yelling about I don't see y'all giving up. We got meat right here for you. We got meat right here. This is the meat he talking about feed his people. But this is the meat that he's talking about feed his people right here.
This is the meat, brother.
Y'all over there.
Shoot. Listen, this
brother.
is the meat right
This
here.
is the meat, man.
Come sit down and get you some.
Let's go into eating my fresh and drinking my blood.
Come on, man.
Oh, man, that jump.
When
That's
y'all
jump.
can give us jobs to give them a message, then I can hear you.
Oh my goodness.
When I can straighten out my house, then I can hear you.
But this is but this is good though.
Yeah,
This is what we have to do with our people.
That's right.
This is what we have to do with our people. Our people would rather be fed by the enemies than be fed by the Lord.
That's right.
Okay? In fact, just go to John 20, go to John the last verse. Let's go with what Yahushua told you.
John the last verse.
Hollering about us give them jobs. Come
We're
on,
in
man.
captivity.
Yeah, how we gonna give you a job? We in
They gotta
captivity.
go to their master. Why didn't your master give you a job? You should have asked him. You know he got the power.
feed your
You know, but our
church chicken,
people-
they
our
already
people-
got high blood pressure and diabetes.
Yeah, what you looking for? Yeah, get the John the Loud. Get what your house shot's talking to Peter.
Oh yeah.
Sheep.
Let's see.
Okay. This is 21. Go to red letter, right here. Let's start right here.
This is John 21 and 5. Then Yahushua said unto them, Children, have ye any meat?
Hey,
Hey,
okay, keep going,
hey man. They answered him, No. And he said unto them, Cast the net on the right side of the ship, and ye shall find.
Okay.
They cast therefore, and now they were not able to draw it for the multitude of the fishes. Therefore the disciples whom Yahushua loved said unto Peter, It is the Lord. Now when Simon Peter heard that it was the Lord, he girt his fisher's coat unto him, for he was naked, and did cast himself into the sea. And the other disciples came in a little ship, but they were not far from the land, but as it were 200 cubits, dragging the net with fishes. As soon as then, as they were come to the land, they saw a fire of coals there, and fish laid thereon, and bread. Yahushua said unto them, Bring of the fish.